Well, good evening. I'm David Rose. Thanks for joining us tonight. Here's a look at some of our top cases this week on Washington's Most Wanted. I'm going to start with a vicious and terrifying attack on a woman who was lured to her door for a flower delivery. Now watch as the suspect, Seattle police are trying to identify, hits the woman in the face, knocking her back into the lobby of her apartment building and onto the ground. He continues to beat her as she's on the phone with her friend pleading for help. And the abuse doesn't stop there. He pulls out some mace and starts spraying her in the face. And when he turns back, that's when we get a good look at him. Tonight, Seattle police really want to know his name. Focus on the profile. He's 6'2" or 6'3", late 20s or early 30s. He's got a beard connected to his goatee and no discernible accent. Now, the woman he attacked remains terrified. She is moved to a safe location and she is preparing to have surgery. She has to have a titanium implant to replace her orbital socket. But that won't fix the permanent damage to her iris or repair the emotional trauma she tells me she feels.
I don't know who this person is, where they came from. I opened my door for flowers and I ended up assaulted.
A bizarre and violent attack dished out by a bogus courier.
How could I go and open a door for somebody that had such ill intent for me?
In a flash, she went from excited about getting a flower delivery to curled up on her lobby floor, trying to protect her face.
The hits they kept coming and coming and coming. And
painful blows that left her seeing stars, and he wasn't done yet.
He pulls out some tear gas, sprays her numerous times. He starts to leave, and then he turns around and he reaches down underneath her face and actually sprays all over her face.
I had it in my throat and my eyes and my nose, all over my skin, so I was burning.
You know, this is terrible. He just turns around nonchalantly, leaves the building.
That attack happened almost a month ago, causing permanent damage to her eye and a concussion.
I struggled to turn my television off one night because I forgot where the power button on the remote was, a remote that I use every single day.
Seattle police say she was clearly targeted, but the question is, why? She thinks it's possible the attack is related to her work, but for her safety right now, detectives are not releasing that information and are focused instead on identifying the suspect in this video.
We don't know the reason exactly, but this is a serious assault. She's going to need probably some surgery and follow-up, and we need to get this guy off the street.
The physical injuries aside, the emotional damage she's suffering is just as bad. She has nightmares, can't sleep, and is constantly on edge and in fear.
I smell Seattle, and it brings the attack back. It is the biggest trigger that I have.
She's since moved to a safe location, and she's undergoing surgery soon on her eye. But even when it heals, it won't fix that sick feeling she has inside right now, knowing he is still on the loose.
I don't understand how a person could be so cruel.
Well, Seattle police think the suspect is 6'2" or 6'3", late 20s to early 30s. He has a beard connected to a goatee. He had no discernible accent. He's got Los Angeles on the side of his sleeve. If you recognize this guy, if you know his name, you will remain anonymous and collect a cash reward of up to $1,000. Please submit a tip to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound. Call 1-800-222-TIPS or use the P3 Tips app that you can download to your cell phone for free. You know, if there's one thing I hate more than thieves, it's a cheater, especially when it comes to gambling. I don't play very often because I usually don't win, but neither will you if you're at a craps table with these next three suspects. Agents with the Washington State Gambling Commission are asking for your help to find Gurumpreet Kang, Mark Haddad, and to identify this third suspect. They're accused of stealing at least $25,000 from casinos in our state using a dice sliding technique at the craps table. That means if you're not betting with the suspects, you are probably losing money. And they pulled off this scheme at 2 casinos in our state so far along the I-5 corridor. So take a look at this video of one of the thefts, and I'm going to talk you through how this works. Agents say that's Kang in the white hat at the bottom of the screen. Now watch as he tosses a small denomination chip to the dealer to distract him, and then he rolls a hard 10. Well, that scores. You see him celebrating because it pays 7-to-1 odds. But here's the thing. Watch this again. He spins one of the dice across the table with the number he wanted, in this case a 5, while tossing the other one. which increases his chances. That's cheating, and it's first-degree theft.
When you're playing craps, the outcome is supposed to be random. Our suspects are using a technique that allows them to achieve a predetermined outcome. So when it's the shooter's turn, he decides what he wants to come face up on the dice. He takes one of the dice and turns that number face up. Let's call it a 6. So when he goes to throw the dice, he's actually sliding them. One of them freely tumbles like it's supposed to, but the other one, the 6, just does a flat spin across the table. So when the dice come to a stop, he's achieved his predetermined outcome, he wins big, and his partner wins big. Some people look at this and see it just as the casino's problem, but in reality, it affects all of the players at the table.
Well, they believe these suspects are visiting other casinos in our state, so keep an eye out for these 3 guys. Garamrapreet Kang is 5'11", 170 pounds. Markadad is 6 feet tall, 215 pounds. And that third suspect in the blue shirt and the hat has not been identified. They were driving a white 2002 4-door Lexus sedan with California license plate 8EP-H422. If you spot any of them at a casino, alert security right away and then call 911 immediately. Well, tonight the search is on for an armed robbery suspect who has probably been flashing cash after he stole a bunch of money while wearing a very homemade disguise. So take a look at the tape face bandit. Seattle police are asking for your help to identify him after he pulled off a robbery at gunpoint on September 8th at a movie theater in the U District. He's black, 30 to 40 years old, between 5'5" and 5'7", 200 pounds, wearing a dark hoodie, tan shorts, blue sneakers, and a ball cap with tape on it and on his face.
Somehow, the suspect in this case, a lone male, gets in the theater. It's locked up, but he gets into theater. Now it's a little bit comical to some extent. So the first shot you see on the video is him holding a bag of popcorn. He's walking around like he's in the lobby, which he is. He's looking around. The next shot you see on video, he's acting like he's an employee. He's got a sweeper and a thing to pick up stuff, and he's looking around. He's not doing anything, but he's looking. Finally, he spots a female in the business. He yells at her, goes down, confronts her. This is where it gets serious. He shows a handgun, says, "Take me to the safe." You're going to see a shot of her at the safe, bending down, taking money out, giving him the money. He's ordering her around. He threatens her and says, "I don't want anything said. I got a gun. I will kill you." Then he commands her to go to a bathroom off of the lobby and says, "Stay in there until I leave." All this time, there's other employees, but nobody sees anything except for the lone female. So it is an armed robbery. A sizable amount of cash was taken. You're going to look at this disguise and kind of laugh like we did originally. He's got tape over his nose. His whole cap is covered with duct tape. You're going to get a good look at this guy. Somebody knows who he is. So please take the time and give us a call.
It's possible he's a local in the U District of Seattle, as he knew when the movie theater opened, or he had researched it really well. Detectives also aren't sure how he got inside. If you can identify the tape-faced bandit, Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound will pay you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Submit that information right now. You can also send photos through the P3 Tips app or at p3tips.com. A domestic violence suspect is on the run tonight in Yakima County. This is Alfredo Orozco Aguilar, and he's charged with assault second degree. He's accused of attacking a woman, grabbing her by the hair, hitting her head against the floor, and then choking her until she told deputies she got dizzy. Sheriff's detectives say witnesses watched the attack happen at a home in the small town of Buena on August 21st. Alfredo Orozco Aguilar is 24 years old, 5'8", weighs 170 pounds. Yakima County detectives think he might be driving an older green-colored car. If you know where to find him, submit a tip right now to Crime Stoppers. Call the hotline or use the P3 Tips app, and there is a cash reward of up to $1,000. And as always, you'll remain anonymous. Well, now some unique ink is going to help get this woman identified tonight. She sported a tank top at the Kohl's in Lacey on September 13th, and she showed off all the tattoos on her neck, her right shoulder, and her wrist. Lacey police say she tried stealing hundreds of dollars worth of merchandise.
Person went in, gathered $350, $400 worth of items and left the store without purchasing it. The assets protection people tried to stop her and ask her to bring the things back or stop, and she ended up taking off. Somewhere in the mist, the suspect or the unknown female ended up dropping the items and didn't get away with anything. But this person still stole, still took items, left the store without purchasing it. So saying the store got the things back now, but who knows? She's probably out there still stealing from other places. So we want to make sure this is not happening anymore. So we're just asking for help at this point to identify this unknown person.
Well, definitely a great look at her face and the tattoos that she has. Somebody watching tonight will know her name, and you'll get a cash reward of up to $1,000 if you can tell that to Lacey Police. Submit the information to Crime Stoppers of the South Sound through the P3 Tips app or call their hotline at 1-800-222-8477. And it's thanks to you that a pair of burglary suspects accused of stealing from a soldier's home have both been arrested. Malik Murray and Austin Jones are now charged in Thurston County with burglary in the 2nd degree and theft in the 1st degree. Lacey Police say that's Murray on the left and Jones on the right in this surveillance photo from the soldier's home. The video shows them stealing tools and military equipment from the victim's garage on Labor Day weekend. Lacey Police say it was an anonymous tip from a Washington's Most Wanted viewer that led to Jones's arrest on September 12th and Murray a couple of days later.
We were getting to the point where we thought we were at a dead-end road because the case was a couple weeks old. Somebody let us know exactly what vehicle they were using, the names of the people, and where they hang out. So we grabbed that tip, we ran downtown Olympia. We actually ran the names, found out that both individuals were on warrant status. They've been getting into trouble for the exact same things. We apprehended one person and put him in custody. That person confessed to the whole thing, said that they were the one and gave up their friend. Olympia took over and they actually apprehended the person for us a couple days later when they ran into him.
Well, Detective Williams says both men are homeless. Jones was wearing the same shirt seen on the soldier's home surveillance video when he was taken into custody. He says Jones confessed to the burglary and verified that Murray was the suspect with him. Malik Murray is also charged in 2 separate cases, including a forgery in July and for using a bank card that was stolen from a vehicle on September 13th. He's being held without bail in the Thurston County Jail. So that's a look at some of the cases we're featuring this weekend on Washington's Most Wanted. Join us for all of them tonight at 11:30 on Q13 Fox, or tomorrow night at 10 on Joe TV and 10:30 on Fox stations in Spokane, Yakima, and the Tri-Cities. Also, Sunday night at midnight on Q13 Fox. I need all of your help. Set your recorder if you can't watch because it's late. Whatever you need to do, make sure you're paying attention to all of these criminals because they are amongst you. And make sure they have nowhere left to hide. Stay safe. I'll see you later tonight.